I speak English, but here people speak American. Similar, but not the same, right? So like small things change, small things, and I accept that small things change, like pronunciation. For instance, the thing you drink, I call that water, yes, water. In American, you say water, right? Water, yeah. I say water because there's a T in the word, right? The glass you see yourself in every morning, I refer to that as a mirror, yeah, right? In American, you say a mirror, right? A mirror, yeah, which is not the same thing to me. A mirror is the glass. A mirror is a Middle Eastern man. Very different experience. It's not the same thing. And that's just pronunciation, right? You also have to learn the meanings of words that you already knew when you moved to America. For instance, where I'm from, there's a garment that men commonly wear under their shirts. It's white and it's sleeveless. Yeah? Where I'm from, we refer to this as a vest, okay? I've now learned in American, it is known as a wife beater. Yeah, I have so many questions. Don't be a pussy. The guys say that and then you do what they want. Don't be a pussy. Yeah, don't be a pussy because the pussy is weak. And yet, in my personal experience, I have found the pussy to be one of the strongest things I have ever come across in my life. Don't be a pussy? The vagina is one of the most powerful. You realize vaginas can start revolutions and end wars. You realize even on a physical level, the vagina is one of the strongest things that have ever existed. Virtually indestructible. Many men in this room, many men in this room have tales of how they once defeated the pussy. Let me tell you now, they have not. The owner of the pussy may have given you the impression that you defeated the pussy. But it is alive and well, my friends. Whenever people say that, I go, do you understand how impressive the vagina is? Do you understand how strong it is? There's a reason men have sought to oppress it for so long. The vagina is frighteningly powerful. You realize that human beings come out of a vagina. Human beings come out and still it continues to work as intended. Do you understand how impressive that is? Like, I don't know if I'm the only one, but do you understand? A human being comes out of the vagina and still it continues to operate, as it continues to work. After a human has just come out, you're saying it's weak? A human came out of the vagina. You just sit on a penis wrong and it breaks. You just... I'm fascinated by racism as a concept, as an action, policy. All of it fascinates me. I read these stories in history. And one of the most fascinating things I read about recently, one of the most fascinating places, was a place called Rochester, New York, where, genuinely, this blew my mind, where they had a city which was basically dedicated to rehabilitating people who had escaped slavery. Slaves would escape from the South, they'd make their way to the North, they would get to Rochester, the Underground Railroad would get them there, and then they would rehabilitate them, put them on boats, and send them to Canada so that they could live free. And I was like, it's a fascinating story for two reasons. One, to remind you that there were a lot of good people, white people out there, because a lot of time I get angry at white people, and then I'm like, no, there's good ones, calm down. And the second part of it that was amazing was that they convinced black people to get back on boats. Think about that for a second. Somebody's just escaped slavery. They've made their way there, finally. Right? They wake up after one night of free sleep. And they walk out and it's just like, hey, man, I just want to say thank you so much for everything you did for me, man. Well, you know what, my friend? Nobody deserves to live the way you lived, and I'm glad we got you out. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you, my friend. Okay, all we got to do now is get you some paperwork, get you cleaned up, and put you on a boat, get you to Canada, and you can live a free life. And everything's gonna be better. I'm sorry, hold up. Yeah, could you come again? What did you say? Oh, I know, the paperwork thing is weird, but we gotta get you some identification. No, you said something about a boat? Yeah, we're gonna get you on a boat so you can get to Canada. I don't, we don't do boats no more. I don't know if you know our history, but me and my people, we took a cruise one time, that shit didn't go so well.
So yeah, we gotta find another way to get to Canada if you don't mind.
No, but the boat is the best way for us to get there from Rochester.
Yeah, that might be the best way for y'all, but we gonna walk. Hell, we can run real good. We can run, but we ain't getting on no boat.
My friend, you gotta get on the boat.
Man, I ain't gotta do shit. I just got free. Imagine if I get on that boat and on the other side I'm in the same place. What they gonna say to me? Why'd you get on that boat? Because he was real nice. Oh, hell no. I ain't getting on no boat.
Well, you gotta get on the boat, though. You gotta get, you're free now. You gotta get over this.
Look, man, maybe one day in a few hundred years, one of my descendants named Kanye West will be over this shit, but I ain't over it right now. So I ain't getting on no boat.
And that was the day the phrase "nigga please" was invented.
That white man turned and he's like, "Nigger, please, I need you on that boat."
And that story was passed down generation to generation. Black person to black person, free man to free man.
So then that white man got down on his knees and he said, "Nigga, please. Nigga, please, nigga, please. I ain't never heard that phrase before in my life. Nigga, please, nigga, please, nigga, please."
I was walking through the streets one day. I was walking next to this man. I'll never forget this, right? He's standing there on the sidewalk, and the light changes in our favor. And I look to the side, and there's this truck that is barreling down the road. And I'm looking at the truck, and as soon as the light changes, the guy next to me, he just steps out into the road. And so instinctively, I stuck my hand out to protect him. I was like, "Yo, dude, there's a truck." And he was like, "It's okay, we've got the light."
I said, "Yeah, and he has a truck." In a game of rock, paper, scissors, you lose. But he was so confident.
He was like, "It's okay, we got the light. Come on, let's go."
And he walked out there. He didn't just walk out. He stared that truck driver down as he was crossing, just looking at him like,
"I've got the light. I've got the light. You know I've got the light. You know I've got that light."
I was running behind him all apologetic. "I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I would have stopped. I've never done this before. I'm so sorry."
I walked with that man for 12 blocks. And let me tell you, I have never been imbued with the confidence of another human being the way I was with him. I started that day thinking and pondering before stepping out. And after a few blocks with him, I started believing. And after 8 blocks, it was the only way I knew how to live. I had my phone out. I was tweeting and texting. I didn't play games. I'd be looking down, look up, the light would change, and I was out. I didn't care if a truck or a train was coming towards me. I was out. Because I've come to realize in America, if you've got the white man on your side, you can do whatever you like.